We going in. We count down, man. Always remember to subscribe and like, man. If you got any comments, leave them at the end of the show, man, to the guests, man. Right now, we going in, man. It's going to be a special day today. Once again, we got a good one for you, man. We got a good one for you. Just like always, we going in, man. We up under a minute. We up under a minute. Just like always, we going in. Hope everybody had a good afternoon, good day, because I did. So everybody should have had a good day today. We almost up on a minute. We got 8 in the house, man. Let's do it. Remember to ask your comments at the end of the show, man. It's in the chat. Put it in the chat, man. Put your comments in the chat. Put your comments in the chat. We almost in here. It's almost time to go. We up under a minute. We up under a minute. Let's go. Ain't no party like a Chronicle party. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get up in there. Let's go. What's good, YouTube? Once again, it's the one and only OG Hollywood in the house. Today, I want to give a big shout out to all the subscribers that have subscribed to the channel. Soon, the milestone will be met to 1,000 subscribers, and we can go nationwide with the positive channel. Like I said, a big shout out to anybody that has subscribed to the channel. We're pushing forward to 1,000. And I know if you've been watching, the subscriber count is going up and it's not going down. So salute to anybody that has been a part of the Ferguson Chronicle, especially the subscribers. But before we get started, please salute Mr. OG Percy. I like to salute OG personally. From me to you, shout out, Mr. OG Percy. So now, before we get started, like always, I have to tell you a little bit about me. Did 10 years on that Ferguson unit. Ran up and down those hallways and in and out of those day rooms. I met a lot of guys in prison. And in my 25 years in prison, the guy that I have on camera today, I had the privilege of meeting him on the Hughes unit. And he goes by the name of Mr. Cedric Williams. So without further ado, bring Mr. Cedric Williams to the screen, please. What's good, Lokster?
What's up with it, Will?
Oh, man, I'm just tapping in with you, man, to see what you got going on, man. Versus when we was locked up inside that box, you know what I'm saying? So I'm bringing you to the screen today, man, to see your progress in the, in society, man. But first, I must say this, man. You were looking damn good then, and you're looking marvelous now, man. So life must be treating you well. So I can't do nothing but salute that, man. You feel what I'm saying?
Appreciate it, big bro.
So without further ado, man, because the people want to know who you are, man. So go ahead and give the people a little bit about you, man. Let them know who you are. Let them know where you're from, and first and foremost, let them know what led you to prison, bro.
All right. My name is Cedric Williams, but they call me Ced Loc. But first of all, I got to say I want to give a shout out to my family members, which is my mom, my wife, and all the rest of my loved ones. Then I got to say I want to give a shout out to my haters. I got to get a shout out to them because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am or who I am today. Then I got to give a shout out to the minister Farrakhan and also Elijah Muhammad because they the one made me who the man I am today. They gave me the light, took me out of triple shade of darkness. And then I want to say I'm from Fort Worth. I'm from the South Side. You know, the land that they call Hoover Land, but that's the new era of my time. But that's where I'm from.
So let me ask this, Ced. Go ahead and tell the viewers what year you went to prison, bro, and what unit did you land on?
Oh, I went to prison on a murder. I had a first degree murder, and I caught 45 years and did 23 on it. And I landed on beat 01 in 1993 in March.
So, you know that beat 01 made me smile, man, because I've been a part of that beat 01 unit too, man. So let me ask this here. Let's talk about that first day you landed on that beat 01 unit, man. What was it like?
Man, going there, it was like, niggas having butterflies and wondering what's gonna happen, this and that. But I remember the very first day when our bus pulled up to the unit, I had on some white All-Star with the blue. I had the white All-Star with the blue strings in them, and they had a medical chain bus coming out. And I can't forget this. It was this one brother named Kadu. He was a Crip dude, big dude. So he looked down at my shoes, and then he said, "Say, man, you a Crip?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a Crip." I said, "Well, what's up?" And then he said, man, brother, he said, man, cuz, lace your chucks up because it's going down up in there. I said, I got this. Don't worry about me. I got this. So then, we went on in, and then that's what that was on my very first day. But when I got there, they told us that half of the unit was locked down due to a riot that went on. And that's the side that they signed us to, was the unit that the side was that was locked down. And I was like, oh, here it go, So, niggas got all type of butterflies. Niggas don't know what's going to go on or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it was, it was tense. It was tense over there on that unit.
So let me ask this, Ced. Now, I noticed you said they asked about the chucks, right?
Yeah.
So when he asked about the chucks, was that person a gang member or somebody?
Yeah. He was a gang member. I can't remember. I can't forget. I think he was from Cali. I don't know. I don't know if he was from Front Street or Back Street, but he was an OG Crip nigga from Cali.
So let me ask this. Detail for the viewers, right? Because me and you both know how beat 01 is, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and detail for the viewers, right? Your worst day on that beat 01 unit.
My first day?
No, your worst day.
Oh, my worst day. Oh, my worst day. Well, I got two worst days. One of my worst days is seeing my mom walk away, leaving the visitation. It's one of the worst days. And then another worst day was, it was 2003. When they locked me up in segregation. They shook our wing down, and they come and asked me, did I have a knife? I'm like, did I have a knife? So they said, well, excuse me. They said, we found a 9-inch rod in your cell. So they told me to turn around and put the handcuffs on me. They locked me up and they locked my cellie up. So they tried to get one of the cop for the case and said, who knife was it? So now one of them said it was ours. But I knew it wasn't mine because I was coming up for parole, you know. So I felt like they was trying to cross me out because the officers over there on the unit really didn't like me due to the fact that, you know, I was, you know, having my way or whatever. But still, I feel like they tried to set me up to knock me to get me to not go to SEG. So that was one of my worst days, man, because I felt like I should have went home on that day there, but I went to SEG because it was February. I got locked up December, but I turned around and I'm supposed to see parole in February, and I went to SEG in December. And that was my first day coming up for parole.
So let me ask this, Ced. So I got to ask you this because I know how the job part was on Beat 01, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me and the viewers, right? Give us what was it like for you to be working in the fields? Because we all got different stories, huh?
Yeah, man, say, working in the field, you hear me? The first day, I ain't gonna lie, I had blisters out the game on my hands, you hear me? And then, you know, I didn't know how to work no aggie, but I had good endurance, you know what I'm saying? Because I always been a physical type person, you know what I'm saying? But, and you know, I didn't know how to keep my back straight. I didn't know just use my arms. So I'm leaning over, you know what I'm saying? So that first day I was broke down. I'm talking about back hurting, hands blistered out the game. And then, like I say, we was doing 2 halves, so, you know, they tired. You hear? Going in, eat, go right back out. So it wasn't no rest. So after we did our little old fields, it wasn't no going outside, working out, playing basketball. Everybody was in the cell, knocked out. You know what I'm saying? From that field was go hard back then. You know, I'm talking about head high. You got to bring the agate all the way up, and they want it down, and they want their grass cut. And
so,
then,
go ahead, Ced, go ahead.
Caleb, yep.
Go ahead.
So, and they want their grass cut. So then, not only that, you know, you know, if the person to get that grass cut, you ask the brothers in the line, they gonna try to charge you. Man, you better get that grass. We ain't finna keep going over the same kind of grass. We ain't finna keep going over that grass. They was on that type of stuff. So that's how it went down. So, you know, and then once they go on, and you like, you don't know what you going. So, and then you gonna feel like, nigga, don't be coming to me like, especially you the type of person, you gonna stand up for what, you know, who you are. You ain't gonna just accept no anything. So I ain't never had no fights in the field because I eventually learned how to work the agate because some brothers told me, you know what I'm saying, man, don't use your back, use your arms. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be out here all day. So if you leaning over like that, boy, you're gonna be broke up. So dude told me that the next day, but I didn't learn that the first day. I learned that the next day. You know what I'm saying?
So now we all spent a lot of time in them day rooms, right?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And we all talked about different things. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
If you can remember, what were some of your greatest conversations in the day room that you can remember, and some of the ideas that you brought back with you to society that's gonna help you continue, you know, to be positive out here?
Well, one of the ones was I had in my mind that I was gonna get out and get me a business, which I got. I got me a landscaping business, you know, which is Williams and Williams, you know, and I'm coming up off of it because I'm making good profit. I put in, invested, and I feel like I accomplished what I wanted to put in and got what I'm getting out of it. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the things. And then, you know, another thing is, you know, come out and be a productive husband, which I am, and being a good family man. And then I'll come out here and be a leader to my family. You know, like some of my cousins, because I know a lot of them, my cousins, they weren't born when I was out. So it's good for me to come out and give them some knowledge and advice, all the stuff that I know, that I didn't know, that I know now, that I can serve it to them to keep them from going where I went, you know.
So now, in order for you to make it out of prison, right? Because you did just as much time as I did in prison, right?
Yeah.
So for me and the viewers, how did you prepare yourself mentally after all those years to keep looking forward and to never fall backwards?
Okay, one of the things was I was always ordering books. I always read. I was, nonfiction. I stayed them. I still got a bunch of books right now to this day that I brought, you know, from my from the prison that I brought, and I left a lot of them because a lot of them brothers they wouldn't let them books come in because they didn't want brothers to become knowledgeable. So the ones I knew the mail room wouldn't let in, I left a lot of them, but I brought a lot of them to the house. But that was one of the things that kept me afloat.
So, if you can remember any one of those books you read, and if you don't mind, give me and the viewers your favorite book that you read, and what knowledge did you get from that book?
The Message to the Black Man was my favorite one. It was the book. It seemed like it was the book that had life in it. I'm talking about. It showed you about economics. It showed you about. Like I said, it showed you about economics. It showed you about how to eat to live. It showed you how. It just showed a lot of spirituality, how to be a physical strong. Showed you how to be mentally strong. Showed you how to be, it just showed you everything. It was like the whole puzzle put together in one.
So,
and I got a lot out that book.
Let me ask you this, Ced. So, describe your feelings, right? From a mental standpoint. Describe your feelings when you first found out that you was going to be released for parole. What was that like from a mental standpoint? What was that like for Ced Loc? Because I know we all received those papers, right?
Yeah.
Some of us cry, some of us jump up for joy, some of us get on our knees and pray. So I want to hear what it was like for Ced Loc, because I know when we in there, right?
Yeah.
We have to put on the masculinity facade so we won't let the next man see us as far as in the
weakness.
The weakness, right?
So
how did you feel when you first received that notice and they said, hey man, Mr. Cedric Williams, you are being released on parole? Go into details about that, man.
Well, I was waiting on them to call outside rec, which was the recreation, right? Where you go out and you play basketball, you lift weights, and you do all this, you get fresh air or whatever. So I had to just go outside and talk to the creator, man. I had to go out and talk to him. I'm talking about, I was so in joy. I was screaming and hollering outside because I was just letting it out, you hear me? Because I always wanted to get out before my mom passed. I wanted to be out, you know what I'm saying? Because that was really my momentum, to get out to my mom to help her. Because I felt like I scarred her, bruised her, drug her through all my pain. I feel like I put a bunch of pain on my mom. That's why I really was trying to give back to my mom, and I was trying to get out back there with her because I feel like she needed me, man. And I left her at a young age, and I feel like, I need to get back to my mom because she was going through a lot,
So let me ask this, man. So, I know on all our journey down there, right?
Yeah.
We lose people along the way, right?
Yeah.
So, not that it's a privilege or an honor to lose people, but I have to ask this question because I always want to know, what do a man feel like after he loses a loved one in prison and not being able to go and pay his respects to that person, right? So, did that ever happen to you?
Yeah, I lost a bunch of loved ones, man. But then too, to me, I look at life different from other people, man. I feel like we all got to die. You hear me? So when somebody died, I be like, oh man, they died. But I feel like I look at it like this, man. They going to another life. You hear me? So I feel like it ain't no more suffering, there ain't no more pain, it ain't no more wearing, ain't no more none of that. So I feel like that's all joy, especially if it's not, if it's not like some form of killing or nothing. It's just like some kind of illness or whatever, they take them out because you never know how long they were dealing with that illness. So I feel like it's all joy on that end. I don't look at it on the opposite end like some other people. That's why I say I look at death or somebody, losing somebody just, I look at that whole different from other people, man. That's why one of the reasons why I really don't like going to funerals is because I'd rather remember the person with the smile on their face than going to see the person just laying there. I'd rather see him leaving, with the smile instead of, seeing them laying there with the frown. You hear me? That's just how I see things, man.
So let's talk about when you went in, right?
Yeah.
We were all young, right? So, and
Yeah.
now you're of age when you got out. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
What were the people like in a whole when you went in versus when you got out?
Well, for one of the things, when I got out, I seen a lot of people were still stuck from the 90s, really. I'm like, man, what the? You still right here, it ain't like it's big me, little them, because I don't put myself in a position like that. But I feel like, I feel like I can help them, but try to answer, because sometimes some people need that push, or sometimes a person needs a word of encouragement. Sometimes, it might be, anything that might something get pushed them, because it might be a certain type of person that can help them get them out that slump. But I feel like, man, when I came out here, I was like, wow, and for the most, when I got out, I was on a monitor, so I really could view a lot of stuff because it was limited to my goals. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to do paperwork here and there, So, but once I got off that monitor, I started viewing the world, started seeing a little stuff. I'm like, man, it was like I was like a little kid, going to the zoo. I'm like, oh man. Then I'm seeing a lot of stuff being tore down, a lot of stuff being built, and I was just, just amazed, really. And I was so happy to get out to see that type of stuff, to see this world again, because like me and you, I've been locked up more my life than being out in the world. So, it's like I was in there more than my whole life in there than out here. So it was just, it was amazing, man. I was so happy to come out. And then it's like when I came back to my mom's house, man, it looked like everything was small. You hear me? Because I was little when I left. I was 19, but I guess because I was shorter. But it seemed like the roof was shorter. And the chairs on the poles, they were smaller. It just seemed like it was so, man, it was crazy, man. It was crazy, man.
So hold up, Ced. I have to do this, man, because I always like to pay homage to the subscribers, man, because without them, the channel wouldn't be nothing, right?
Yeah.
And me and you gonna always conversate because this is your interview and I want people to hear your story. But like I said, I'm always have to pay homage to the subscribers, right?
Yeah.
So if anybody that's in the chat has a question for Mr. Cedric Williams, you always can put your question in the chat and you can conversate with Cedric and I'll relay that on. But remember, please share the video. That's the most important thing. So now let me ask this, Ced.
Mm-hmm.
So give us a lesson that you learned in your stint in prison, man. And if you don't mind, go into detail about what you learned as a man in prison.
Okay. One of the things I knew is to mind your own business, because that's the main important thing. And then, prison teach you to be watch your words. It teaches you that, because there's so much stuff happening. You could be sitting in a chow hall or something, and somebody get stabbed or something, or somebody get hit in the head. You never know what he did or what happened or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Cause reason. So that's number two. And then it's just like, and then like when I first went to prison, it was a trip, because you had to deal with your peers, which is the inmates, you had to deal with the officers. And at the time when I went, they had white dudes, the guards, they wore bandanas. And I'm talking about they had their own gang. So you couldn't go to breakfast by yourself. You had to go a couple of your homeboys. Like if they pulled one of y'all over, all three of y'all got to stop. Because if you keep going and let him stay there by himself, they're gonna be done slammed and jumped on him. And it was going down like that, you know. And they just it was a trip, you know, seeing all that type of stuff, seeing dudes get slammed, and then you be wanting to get out your character, but then you try to conduct yourself, man, you need to go home, you know. But then it was like that, man. You know, it was wild, man. So it was like you didn't know which way to turn. You either like, man, you gonna drown up here, keep catching cases after cases, try to survive and help other people, or you gonna try to stay focused and you know, and mind your own business. Because sometimes, like I say, if it ain't your, you know, but see, like I said, most of the time, you get to a couple of dudes that you real loyal to and loyal to you. When you go in that child house, he gonna sit in front of you, and you gonna sit in front of him. You eating, you watch behind his back. He eating, watch behind your back. That's just how it goes. You know, because like I said, it was, man, that penitentiary, it was out of control when I first got there on Beto. I'm talking about, it wasn't no rules. Everything, it just wasn't no rules in the game. It just wasn't nobody going by nothing. You know, it was just like a lot of animals just doing their thing. So you know, in order for you to survive, you got to, you know what I'm saying, hold your own and stay focused, be alert.
So, I know you keep saying when you got there. So, and I know you said this once before, but I don't want to confuse the viewers of what year, because you know you got different eras.
Oh, what year? Well, I got there in 93.
Okay,
March
so
9, 93.
That's what I want to clear up, because we got different
eras. That's when I got there. That's when I got there. March 9, 93.
Okay, so now that we got that cleared up, man. So this is what I'm gonna do, Ced, and I do this for the viewers, right?
Yeah.
I always like the viewers to have an opinion on the show, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the question, to the chat, and ask you a few questions from the viewers, right?
Okay.
So we're gonna start out with this one right here, man. So King Greedy, he wants to know, was you down there with Polo out of Houston?
Yeah, I was down there with Polo out of Houston.
So that answers that question.
I want, I know I was over there with Polo.
So let me ask this. This is from Cisco. Shout out Cisco, man. I always see you checking in. I appreciate your support, bro. You've been with me since the channel started. He wanted to know, what were you considered, what would you would consider the popular books to him as he was locked up? What was your popular book?
Like I said once before, Message to Black Man was one of them. 7 Speeches was one of them. How to Eat to Live. You had let me see. You had a 5%, 5% and 5% and 85%. It was just a lot of them, bro. It's so many. Let me see. You had Ice and Paper. You had I can go on and on, man, because I used to read Hypnotic. I read so many type of books. I read Satanic Bible book. I read the Hypnosis, Hypothesis. I was reading all type, anything that got something to do with science and math, I was on it. Because everything you do in this world, it pertains to science or math. It's a calculation or it got something to do with the science with it. You know, everything that you do.
So let me ask this, man.
That's the type of books that I was.
Hey, Losi, so shout out Tony Brown, man. He want to ask you a question, man. And you know, either you do or you don't question. You don't have to go into great details about it. But I appreciate it if you ask it, man, if you answer it in a respectful way, right? So Tony Brown wants to know, are you the one that OG Percy talks about?
I'm not sure. He might have been talking about another dude who was on Ferguson, because we went on the same unit, you know. He was on Ferguson, I was on Beto. And I never been on Ferguson. I was always on Beto. So he might be talking about the dude that they call Ced, but then you know.
Let me ask this, man. So Fred wants to know this, man. He wanted to know what was the first thing you ate when you got out?
When I got out, I was in Houston, so I was in a halfway house, so it was limited. I ate at a McDonald's. I had to stay on the bus stop, and I had to pay a bum. I gave a bum $10 to go in there and get me a burger because I couldn't go in there. If I went out in there, I'd have been off my route. So he like, man, you gonna give me $10 to go in there and get you a hamburger? I'm like, yeah. But I didn't let him know the reason why I was getting him $10 because I didn't want him to know my business. So I just said, yeah, man, I just, this is for you. I feel like you need to, so just go in there and give me a burger. So that's what I ate. So then when I got home, I had told my mom that, because they asked me the same thing. So they like, you ain't ate no real burger till you went to Whataburger. So I ate water. So I ate a Whataburger. Then my sister took me to a couple of burger places because, that I kind of like the burgers. You know what I'm saying? So I ate at Four Ruckers, and where you make your own burger. All you get is the meat, and you put your own lettuce and your own. I ate at a couple of more burger places. You know what I'm saying? But it was one.
So
yeah.
Shout out to Demetrius Shepard, man. I appreciate the support, man. You're always checking in. You've been with the channel since day one. And like I said from the start, man, you see it's growing in an enormous way, man. Shout out, keep checking in. The show gonna keep building, man, because like I said, this is the people's channel, man. So salute once again to the subscribers, man. So Demetrius Shepard wants to know, man, where was he there with Kevin Wright from Austin? He said, I think he left at 92. Were you there with Kevin Austin, a guy by the name of Kevin Austin?
Kevin Austin. What was his tag name? I don't, because a lot of people really don't go by their real name in prison. They go by something, sometimes you might know a person by their whole name, but most of the time, you go by a tag.
So, let me ask this, man.
One of the things, but then I got to know if he did a gang bang, because I was on that real serious when I got there. That was my, pet peeve. But I probably was, I never know. Like I said, I got to know his tag name. And then for back to the person, the question toward him, I don't know if he was friendly toward me, but he got a kid by my wife, which, we got some, connection, but saying we ain't never just communicated on that level, but, my wife is his son's, mother.
So once again, like I say, man, at the Ferguson Chronicle, man, we salute OG Person, man. We got much respect for him over here. And that's all I can say about him. It's never been any disrespect from the Ferguson Chronicle towards any one person. So we want that to be known at the Ferguson Chronicle, man, that everybody is welcome. So let me ask this, man. Back to that question from the guy named Demetrius Shepard. He said the guy go by the name of Lil Beto.
Lil Beto? Yeah. Yeah, Lil Beto, yeah.
So I take okay, so I take that as a yes that you know Lil Beto.
Yeah. See, that's why I know about you. That's why I say he got to go by a hell of a tag or something. I just didn't know him by names.
That's a good look, man. That's a good look, man. So once again, man, I appreciate anybody that has ever subscribed to the channel, man, and anybody that have intentions on subscribing to the channel. Just know when you come to the Ferguson Chronicle, man, it's always real life stories, real life people. Nothing is ever scripted at the Ferguson Chronicle. So just like they do in the club, man, I'm gonna say it in the chat, man. Last call for alcohol. So if anybody has any more questions for Mr. Cedric Wilson, please put them in the chat. So with that being said, man, like I always do at the end of every show, said, man, I always let the person I'm interviewing close the show out himself, man. Salute to who he want to salute to. Give thanks to who that he feel like he need to give thanks to. And so the show is yours, man. So you close on any which note you choose to, bro.
All right, first of all, I want to shout out and salute to you for being my best man in my wedding. You know, when I walked down that aisle, you was down there, man. You was there for me, you hear me? You always been a big brother to me, man. You know what I'm saying? We used to always been all the time in prison, man. But another thing, man, for all you brothers, man, that's lost in the triple state of darkness, find you something, man, to pull you up out that hole, man, because going in reverse is not the place. You hear me? I always try to, take some steps forward instead of going backwards. Never take the steps backwards, because that ain't, looking at in the rearview mirror and what's up. You don't need that. A person don't need that. The rearview mirror is only for the car, not for the person. So I don't look back at what I done did in prison and all that. I don't glorify that type of stuff, because, like I said, I've been there, done that. I'm on the positive thing. It's all about trying to have, trying to upgrade. That's what I'm on. So I feel like by the time I done been out, I got me 2 cars. I got a business. I got a good job, paying good. I got me a wife. I got me a family. I got me a house. And it's for just the little time that I've been out. I got out in 2015. It's easy out here, man. They getting out jobs. They getting out opportunities. All you need is the mind and the willpower, man. That's all it is. You ain't nothing gonna fall out the sky. It ain't nobody gonna. It's just like if you sitting up in the house, ain't nobody gonna knock on the door and say, man, you hungry? You want something to eat? You got to get out and vent. That's the only way the people can see that you need something to eat, or you need a jug, or you need some. That's what's up on that.
Like I said, man, it's been good seeing you on this side of the fence, man, and we had a lot of positive talks in the DayRoom, man. And those talks added up to this right here, man. But without the people, it wouldn't be no channel, man. So this channel is the people channel, man. This is where we come here and converse with each other, man, and talk about not only what it used to be, but what it's going to be. And like you said, it's nothing in the rearview mirror. Everything is moving forward. So I like to say this here, man, before we leave off air, man. I want to give a big shout out to Dallas Global, man. Dallas Global, you got a big shout out coming from OG Hollywood. And for anybody that haven't checked out the video on YouTube that was shot by Dallas Global, man, go check that out. Like I said, once again, like, subscribe, and get the channel where it's supposed to be at, man, because this is the people's channel. You are the champion of the channel, not me, the people. So continue to hit that like, subscribe, and most of all, share the content. So it's a wrap, Ced Loc, man. I love you. May Allah keep blessing you and your family and anything around you, man. And I wish you nothing but the best in your business, man. And keep pushing forward, bro. Much love from the Ferguson Chronicles, a diverse channel, man. And with that being said, salute.